bringing you another episode so you can be the most informed Mariners fan. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the Sogcast. I'm Patrick.
I'm Matt.
I'm Garrett.
And I'm Owen.
The Mariners are doing well. 26 and 24. 26 and 25. Game over 500.
Playing right now.
We got a game.
Speak.
We got a game going on right now. They're hopping on Pittsburgh early. This is an important series going on against the Pirates. They dropped the first game. It was not good. Poor George Kirby did not have it going. Got tagged for 4 bombs. Pittsburgh ended up hitting 7 home runs total in that game. Woof.
Yeah.
Marine Lair?
It disappeared.
Marine layer? Question mark.
The Marine Lair apparently doesn't affect opposing teams.
Yeah, right.
Which is why I believe it's a curse rather than a lair.
Yeah, they're hexed.
I mean, on a nice warm day like it was yesterday, the marine layer doesn't roll in as hard and not as early. Like, it's a nice high-pressure, summery day, and the ball's going to start flying in this park.
Then why can't we hit baseballs, bruh?
Let's just burn some sage.
We'll hit baseballs, I swear.
I
promise.
Mike Cameron actually did that for the Mariners last year. He came and visited the team and literally lit sage in the dugout and shit and tried to ward out all the bad omens or whatever. I love Mike Cameron.
Well, that worked last year.
It did work last year.
Clear out the demons and put some good juju in the bats.
We need more Mike Cameron.
Yeah.
Mike Cameron is my all-time favorite player. I love that dude.
Yeah, I mean,
he
he was
talks to
amazing.
you on Twitter and shit.
He does follow me on Twitter. That's actually real. That one is
That's
100% real. Mike Cameron follows me on Twitter, and that is the highlight of my life.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. Friend of the pod, Mike Cameron.
That'd be a sick guest appearance.
Come do a guest app, Mike. We need you in here.
Maybe he can burn some sage in our penthouse studio.
Up here at the top of the Space Needle.
Anyway, yeah, the Mariners, they have been doing pretty all right. You know, it's tough because we want our team to be games above 500. We want our team to be in the race. But we're just hanging around, and I like that right now that's where we are because we haven't seen the boys get really hot. You know, when are the boys going to get hot, in your opinion? We got some tough series coming up, the Yankees, and then Rangers, Padres, Angels. It's going to be tough. I think right now we really need to flip the switch and get hot.
I agree 100%, especially with these upcoming series. The Pittsburgh one that the Mariners are currently playing on is huge. They have a nice, comfortable lead right now on this Saturday afternoon. I mean, anything can still happen, but they're sitting pretty right now. Castillo's dealing. And with them losing the first game, they potentially have a chance to take the series tomorrow. That would be nice. Then the Yankees series is going to be tough. It's always good, especially for national media, if the Mariners can beat the Yankees because everyone takes notice when that happens. So that would be huge.
Yeah, I think on a broad level, the Mariners are playing really well. They are... Oh, how do I want to phrase this? Fuck. They are beating teams like the A's, teams that they should just dog. They're just taking them out to the shed. You know, we swept the A's 4 games in a 4-game series.
First time since 1851.
That's just science.
1991.
Yeah, that is not.
Okay,
No, but it was
sure.
the first time that the Mariners had swept. Was it swept the season series or whatever against Oakland since in 32 years, 1991.
I thought it was the first 4-game series we've taken against them since
I thought
1991.
that's what it was. It's something.
Either way, it's good.
Yeah.
And yeah, like Owen was saying, it's
It is good.
those are the teams you're supposed to beat, but it's good that the Mariners are beating them. So that's a positive.
Yeah, and I think in comparison to last year when we had our last 2 months of our schedule, we played the A's and Texas, who were also down pretty bad last year, and we played them pretty middling, and it's really good to see now that's okay, we're playing the A's, who are historically bad this year, and we're just doing our business, and we're splitting good series against good teams.
Yeah, I will say the A's have been a thorn in our side for the last, decade, kind of. They've always been around poking us and giving us a hard time, even though they haven't been awesome. But neither had the Mariners, right? But now, where they took a step down and the Mariners took a step up roster-wise, yeah, the Mariners are really taking care of business. And it's good to see because we lost that series against Boston. We lost that series against Atlanta. And that was a real test to see if we stand up against some of the best teams in the league. And we don't. Like, we were competitive. There were some close games, but there were some blowouts. Like, we're not consistent enough. But when we're playing well, it is a close, good game. You know, like the last game of the Braves series was 3-2. Like, we made it close, but we weren't quite there. But with the A's, it was obvious. Even if we were, like, down by a run later in the game, I was pretty confident that we're going to score those runs and win that game. So, I don't know. Our pitching really took care of business in Oakland and continued their strong start to the season. Castillo went 6 innings, Marco went 6 innings, Miller went 6 innings, and Gilbert went 8 innings. So they went deep into games, let our bullpen recover and, like, work in the roles that they need to get work in. Like, Brash got into a game and still, like, is shaky. But, I mean, we were able to keep everything on track and, like, kind of dominate that team so that we can be set up for our next couple series here that are going to be more tough.
Yeah, and I think it's important with how we play these better teams. So the Atlanta series was a little bit more competitive. The Red Sox series was not. We won the first game, and then it was back-to-back blowouts, which was not a fun series. Atlanta was a little bit more competitive. Now, Pittsburgh is a decent team. They're a couple games over 500, so if we can take this series, it's very important. And then, yeah, coming up, Rangers is going to be tough. Remember, the Rangers have the second best high, like, scoring offense in baseball right now. And the Mariners, when they last played them, held them to 6 runs over 3 games. So our pitching staff is absolutely dominant. And now that the bats are kind of cooking a little bit more, the weather's warming up, the bats are heating up. So if our pitching staff can do what they did before, we can take this series against the Rangers. And then Padres and Angels. Padres, we have to beat them because I just don't like the Padres. And same for the Angels. Honestly, I don't like either one of those teams. So
yeah, it's really important that we're coming in hot against the Rangers with our bats because we know what our pitching can do. We've proved that, and they continue to do it. The bats have taken one step forward, but, I mean, we haven't seen everyone get hot. We've seen it in very small instances, like 1 or 2 games, like where we'll blow them out, or like even in just an inning in a game, we'll score 5 and do nothing the rest of the game.
that is true. That tends to happen.
Like, we do need to be able to spread it out. They are taking better at bats as a team. Like, I think they're attacking pitches that are good pitches to hit and trying not to get behind in the count early. Things are coming together, but we're not there yet. And I think if we lose against the Rangers and the Angels coming up, then we're in a really tough spot.
That's true. That's going to hurt us a lot in our division standings if we drop those series. Those series are the most important. And, you know, are those road trips? Are we on the road again against them? Oh, I was thinking they were home games because the Mariners just had such a long road trip. So hitting the road again after the Yankees series, that is going to make it tougher. But, I mean, if the thing is that the Mariners are a good team, they can realistically take those series. And, yeah, like Matt's saying, it's a good test of where our team is at. And, you know, Boston and Atlanta didn't really go our way. So if we can turn this corner, it will be nice looking up for the Mariners.
I think this is a huge turning point for the Mariners. Like, if we come out under 500 or like a few games under 500 after these series, I'm not going to be very comfortable, especially the way the AL East is playing and the AL West is playing with the Rangers and the Angels performing. I wasn't expecting them to have such a sustained winning streak from the beginning of the year till now.
And the Astros are getting hot again as well.
Right, and we're expecting them to be towards the top. So, I mean, that really cuts down on wild card playoff spots if both divisions are playing so well. Like, there's a lot of teams in the mix. That's why I really do like that we're sticking around 500 and we are poised to attack when we're hot. You can't expect the hot teams now to stay hot always. They're going to have some losing streaks, and I think the Mariners just sticking around 500 is nice. No huge winning streaks, no huge losing streaks. We're staying pretty stable. So I like where we're at. Something needs to get hot. Someone needs to get hot and spark the team. Maybe a brawl. I don't know.
Also, it's kind of exciting, like with this upcoming important series coming up one after the other. It's like every game is exciting. Like, I mean, obviously we watch every game. We're always invested, but these upcoming games have a little bit more oomph to them. So as a fan, it's definitely something to be really excited about, where these games are very important. Even though it is still early in the season, these series matter, especially these divisional matchups. And again, like I mentioned earlier, nothing gets a team in the spotlight more than beating up on the Yankees. The Yankees are one of the largest markets in baseball, and if teams put them down, it gets talked about everywhere. Reddit, Twitter, SportsCenter, if SportsCenter decides to ever talk about baseball instead of LeBron James and Lamar Jackson. But like the MLB shows and stuff, like it puts the team in the spotlight if you can beat the Yankees. So that's going to be a huge series. And Yankees only come to town once a year, and it gets flooded. T-Mobile gets flooded with fair weather Yankee fans who haven't watched a game in their life, but they're like, "Oh yeah, I love New York."
About the hat.
Aaron Judge, best Yankee.
27 rings, even though they won like 19 of those rings when there was like 4 teams in the league. But, good for you, New York.
I'm not saying I bought the hat. I'm saying these fans that just wear the hat and don't support shit.
Yeah. Oh man, I hate when the Yankees come to town.
You probably have more knowledge than the average Yankee watcher. Like 100%.
Yeah.
I'm
I would
sure
say so,
some
yeah.
of them like wake up in like May and they're like, holy shit, it's baseball season? What the fuck?
Yeah, and I mean, I'm not gonna front. Yankees do have like a dedicated fan base, but only their dedicated fans are very dedicated, but they have so many fair weather fans. Same with the Astros that just tune in when they're winning, and if they lose like 2 games in a row, they're like, "This is clearly the worst team ever," and just.
I just can't wait to see the Yankees fans' reaction all over the internet, Twitter, and like if the Mariners beat the Yankees, they'll be like, "Mariners who? What the fuck? We suck." Like, fire Aaron Boone.
Mariners.
But yeah, dude, the Mariners and the Yankees series should be really good. I think it'll be highly competitive. Dylan Moore could be back this homestand. We'll see what happens. They said
Please let him come back.
Yeah, but what's the corresponding move here? Like, do we DFA Wong since he can't get it
100%.
together?
They won't.
Bad.
I don't think DFAing Wong is what they're going to do.
No.
Honestly, I think they might make a corresponding move with the bullpen. There's that, what is that, like Saucier or
Saucedo.
Saucedo.
He's a guy,
Saucier.
dude. He pitched in the
He's
majors
not
last
bad.
year. He is good. He's a good
He
lefty.
is good, but we have such a deep pen right now. They're gonna make some kind of move, like Patrick's saying.
Sure.
Yeah,
They're
I
just
think
gonna
it will
send
be a
down
bullpen
some
move.
reliever. Yeah, 110 or something like that.
Make
They
a
can't.
make a bigger bench rather than a bigger bullpen.
Yeah.
I get it. Yeah.
They also can't get rid of Wong because like he was like one of the major acquisitions we got in the offseason. And to like get rid of him so quick is just like, yeah, we fucked up this whole strategy.
Dude, it's really a disappointment to see Wong in the starting lineup now. I'm like, damn
Yeah.
it, not Cabs. Like in Caballero, he has earned the right to start, and he has been.
100%.
But
Yeah,
like,
the man.
they really are still trying to give Wong a chance to heat up because he's not playing to the back of his baseball card. Like there's higher expectations for him. He is getting older. He's in a new place, and he just hasn't figured it out. I don't know what it is, but he's not hitting the
not
ball
good.
well enough. Like, yeah,
No,
he's
bro.
not.
No,
he's-
we went through
he's
this.
not good.
We
yeah.
went through the same shit with
I thought he was
Winker
better.
and Frazier. They came off hot seasons at Cincy, and they were like, oh no, just give it time, like give him reps and stuff. Winker's only great contribution was beating up the Angels
And a grand slam.
and
Yeah.
one grand slam.
So we're used to seeing this kind of thing.
I've been hurt
and
too
we're
many
seeing it
times.
again.
I don't want to just sit around when we literally like for Winker and
Traumatized
Frazier,
Owen.
we didn't have any recourse. We have Caballero right now. Like,
Yeah.
fuck you, Wong. Like just get rid of him.
Yeah, maybe we just cut that tie early so we don't have to keep doing this.
Wasn't
And, like,
Stella a big acquisition in the offseason too.
I mean, that's
He
also
was-
sad when you're like, oh, wasn't LaStella a big acquisition?
forgot
You're
about
like,
him.
oh.
yeah, you
He
forgot
was-
about him because he sucked and got DFA'd.
He was
I wouldn't
always
call
a
him
mid-tier
big.
acquisition.
He was mid. Yeah, he was hella mid.
But Wong
but I
was
mean, they
supposed to
cut
be
that
in-
tie so easily.
Yeah, but
Because
that's
he
a little
had
bit
no
easier.
value.
Wong was someone. LaStella, I think, was just a fill-in guy. Like, okay, we can bring someone else in. DePoto, like, wanted Wong. Like, that was supposed to be a big pickup, and it is not working out. I don't think that they will DFA Wong
I don't
this
either.
early. And like Owen said, because like then that they would have to really admit fault, just being like, yeah, this was terrible. I can't believe we even signed this guy in the first place.
Yeah, it's like based on Wong's pivot tables from 2 years ago, he has like a 37% hard hit rate in Safeco Field. Just like this stupid shit like that, you know. Like I'm sure when they looked at Wong, they're like, okay, based on past performances and all these stats, like he's gonna take off. And then it's just like, well, what do you know? Just like every other fucking trade we get or pickup, it just didn't work that way.
All right, so that's how we feel about Wong. It seems like they're going to keep giving him a chance, but that means when Dylan Moore's back, we literally have 3 second basemen and Sam Haggerty on the roster. So, like, something's got to give there. We can't run a bench of Haggerty, Moore, Caballero, and Wong. One of those guys has got to go, and like that's why I think Wong. We might just have to DFA Wong earlier than we think if like he's not doing anything for us.
Not opposed.
Yo, that's actually a really good point. And now that you say that and I'm thinking about it, if they're not cutting ties with Wong, it might be Haggerty, honestly.
Yeah.
Haggerty might get the axe.
True, or at least get set option down because we can keep him around that way. Whereas with Wong, we actually have to DFA him.
Yeah.
And with Haggerty, we probably can send him to AAA, but that sucks for him. And honestly, he's not that bad. He just hasn't been getting a good run since he had a concussion and stuff. Like he's only been in pinch hitting and playing defense, and he's only been in starting a couple games, you know, only when Ty France is hurt. And he did smack a double. Like, I want to see him actually get some reps because I think Haggerty is better than we've seen. He just hasn't been playing much after his concussion.
And maybe this is just a me thing, but like talking about reps is a good point. Like, I don't like the platoon system. I think you're taking away like experience and playing time from people. Like if Demo or Haggerty were just full-time starters and Caballero was a full-time starter over Wong, like how much better would they be? Like we saw it with Kellenic last year. The kind of that split time was just fucking him over so hard.
Yeah.
It's like, what if we had just started him and said like.
What are you guys expecting from Dylan Moore when we get him back? Because honestly, I don't think he's going to be a huge contributor. It's not like changing the team very much by bringing back Dylan Moore.
Yeah, that's actually a good point. And also, like, we sing Dylan Moore's praises a lot, and he has come through in some really clutch numbers. But if you look at his career numbers,
that good.
they're not great.
Yeah.
That's what I've been saying. Like, can we expect more from Dylan Moore than we've gotten from Caballero?
I would say no.
I would say no.
No, definitely not. So maybe they just leave Moore in the minors longer than we think and let him kind of go through game speed reps in the minors and try to let Kolton Wong heat up until we actually do reach a breaking point, whenever that is.
What is like the hard breaking point for Wong? Because right now I've seen
All-Star
we are
break.
like 50 games into the season, and I've seen him collect like 4 hits.
Father's Day, All-Star break.
And I mean, he's pretty much more or less bumped from his starting spot. They're still platooning slightly, but Cab is getting the majority of those starts at second. Although recently they've had Caballero playing a little bit of third. We think Suarez might be dealing with not a major injury. Obviously, he's not spending time on the IL, but they've given him some rest at third. They've given him a night off. They've had him DH a little bit, and they've had Cabs over at third with Wong at second. And who knows, maybe when Demo comes back, we see Demo at second and Cabs at third, and Suarez maybe DHing a little bit more.
That's not bad. But also, like, yeah, Suarez has been hit by so many pitches recently. They have to be giving him, like, a day off here or there, giving him a little bit of rest because, dude, he's been hit by, like, 8 or 9 pitches. And, like, in the last couple of weeks, it seems like. He's been getting beat up. So, It is nice to have really flexible players like Caballero, like Dylan Moore and Sam Haggerty, who literally can play most positions on the field. So, I mean, it's nice to have those guys, but we do need to have an extra bat in the lineup. Like you're saying, having Suarez DH and Caballero play third's not a bad option. So then that kind of, it's a good DH in our lineup for once.
That's true.
Brash just came into the game.
Oh, he's going to blow our 4-0 lead?
Yes.
You know, I don't think so.
You know he is.
I think he's going to strike out 3 guys and go sit down.
We'll do a real-time podcast bet right now. Brash came in, Mariners winning 4-0. Matt thinks he's going to strike out the side.
Yep.
Well, it looks like his day is already done. He came in with 2 outs to get the final out, but he did strike that guy out.
Hey.
Okay.
Also, I wonder, this is kind of weird. So Spire came in, got 2 outs, threw 9 pitches, 7 for strikes, and then they pulled him. So hopefully it's not an injury.
That sounds like injury because he has to face 3 batters.
Yeah, but he also did give up a hit, so maybe
okay.
Maybe it was an out, strikeout, hit, and then they pulled him.
They went for the matchup.
Yeah, it is possible.
They put in Spire for the lefties and then brought in Brash to face a good righty, I'm sure.
But also, talk about hitting the strike zone. Spire, like I said, 9 pitches, 7 strikes. Matt Brash came in to get the final out. 4 pitches, 3 strikes, strikeout.
Beautiful.
So, nice.
All
Also,
right.
Castillo's final line for the day. 6 innings pitched, 1 hit, no runs, 2 walks, 10 Ks.
Let's
What
go.
a gangster.
Rocking a 2.69 ERA right now.
Yeah, his last game, he went 6 innings pitched, 4 hits, 0 earned runs, 2 walks, and 8 Ks. So he just tempered down the hits and pumped up the Ks.
He
and,
also just reached the strikeout milestone.
Yeah,
1,000 strikeouts in his
Yeah.
career. That's exciting.
We're going for 1,000 more here in Seattle. Let's go.
I believe it.
Oh, also an interesting thing as we're still kind of talking about the versatility of players with Haggerty. Haggerty filled in for first base because Ty France missed 2 games after getting hit by a pitch, or a game and a
I think
half.
he was 1, yeah.
But we were able to have Haggerty come in and play first, where we can't have Kolton Wong play first base. He's not going to be able to do it.
You can't even have him play second base, bro.
Can barely play second base. Why do the Mariners insist on having 5 second basemen on the team?
Well, because they know the people they pick up in the offseason are shit, but they're just like,
You
well,
remember
he
when we
might
put
get
D.
better.
Gordon in center field?
That was so
Why do
bad.
they have second baseman
Who was
everywhere?
the last good second baseman you think of? Because I think of Robinson Cano.
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Brett Boone.
Yeah.
That steroid juiced up boy.
Jose Lopez. He was decent, but not good. I mean, anyway.
Joey Cora.
Our
I do like
offense.
Cora.
So yeah, we're talking about all our roster moves and things, but and platooning situations and stuff. And I think you're right where we have too many platoons going on. The outfield platoons with Trammell being left-handed and Pollock being right-handed, and the righty-lefty platoons at second base. I don't know. We can usually have 1 or 2, but the platoon has to be good. We need a good batter. One of the 2 guys has to hit really well, and one of the 2 guys has to play really good defense, and one has to be right-handed and one has to be left-handed. And we're not really meeting all the criteria for a good platoon situation, I don't think. It's kind of tough.
I don't know. Maybe I'm just stupid.
No,
but,
you're no.
Well, don't let him sell himself short.
Okay,
here.
okay. Let me finish my point before I'm stupid. The Pollock Trammell platoon actually makes a little bit of sense in my
Sure.
mind. Pollock has come up clutch in 2 or 3 games. He hit, I can't remember what series it was against, but it was 2 games in a row. He hit a homer.
It was the Oakland series, right? The
in
first Oakland
the
series.
8th inning, which we ended up winning both those games. And
Yeah.
Trammell's hit a couple home runs. He's speedy in the outfield. I don't understand because we're trying to figure out what's going on in the outfield, in right field at least, because Teoscar's
Teoscar's been coming around again lately, though. He's been doing pretty well. He had an RBI double today. He's hit a couple bombs. He's at least showing signs of improvement where Wong has not.
Thank you. That's the point. It's just we have this platoon, and it's just so, to me, it's so black and white. Caballero is competent in the field. He's actually a pretty good batter. He's got some good slugging. And then Wong is just the opposite of both of those. He's a liability on second. We've seen him drop like 2 or 3 transfers or like double play balls from JP. And also like the dude is he batting over 200? I don't think so.
No.
He hasn't been over 200 since the start of the season. Like to me it's just like Cabs, Wong, and Wong's on fire and Cabs has got angel wings and shit. I just don't understand like why we're just like, let's give Wong more chance when this guy's already so good.
Second base is a mess. Like I would even play Haggerty over Wong. Like that's why I keep bringing up. Like I think DFA Wong is coming up before we know it. Like I think it's right around the corner because we're not getting production, and we have the depth we need there, and we don't need a 3-way platoon. We don't need that. Like we need a better bench piece, like with a better bat, something. I don't know.
I will say there's no good teams in the major leagues right now that have a 3-way platoon at second base.
That's what I'm
I can
saying.
tell you that. Like
It seems stupid.
Yeah. Also, as of this second, right now, Kolton Wong's batting average on the season is a stellar hot 162.
I was gonna say 168. Yeah, it's pretty
Trash.
freaking bad.
Trash.
Fucking trash.
So, but I will say, Teoscar has been showing signs of improvement.
Yes.
He strikes out a lot,
But
but
he has like the second most home runs on the team.
yeah.
I think he has the most.
if
I think
he
Kelenic has the most.
if
No.
he's hitting,
No, Teoscar's definitely got to have the most because he's on pace. He was on pace to break the strikeout
Yeah, Kelenic's-
record in the season. That's when the whole Mark Reynolds
We're talking about home
yeah.
runs. Wait, are you talking about Ks?
strikeouts. Yeah.
I thought you said home runs.
I did say home runs.
yeah, home runs.
Oh,
I'm
think I said
confused
home
as shit
runs.
too.
you did.
Kellen, JK,
no, I thought we were talking about strikeout. I don't know. Well,
JK has 10 home runs. I think Teoscar has like 11 or 12.
Oh, I thought he had like 9. I don't know.
Just look
But
it up.
anyway,
Kelenic is leading the team with home runs with 10.
did I not say that?
You did say that.
Okay.
So I looked it up. We got a smooth-oiled machine.
Just no edits. Just send it out.
No one bats 1,000. What can you do? One thing that is also interesting about Haggerty playing first base is that first base is kind of a tough position. Owen, you were a first baseman. Like to get those throws and like those picks and stuff. Like, I mean, that's a tricky
It's hard.
play. Like, I mean, I know as like a fielder, like if I was making a throw to first base and I dug one out, like, or dug it into the dirt and relied on the first baseman to pick it. Anytime they did, I was just so grateful because it's just like, that's a hard play. And you're like, thank you for making me look better. And especially at the major league level for Haggerty to come in and kind of deal with some of those picks and stuff, that's a huge play.
Yeah. Did you ever feel like as a middle infielder when you make like a ball in the dirt throw to first and they don't pick it, you're like, oh, you're such a bitch.
It made me mad. Like, if my throw was bad, but it's like, that's your job. You should pick that.
That's your fucking
Yeah,
job.
come on, pick that shit, man. Come on, what are you doing out there? But no, it's
Your error.
yeah. Oh yeah, it's on me. But it's like, what are you? Come on, man. Come on, man.
I got it like 80% of the way to you. Like, come on.
That's close enough.
Yeah, especially with your big, long ass, lanky arms.
Yeah, I couldn't throw very far, and I was like an average fielder, but I have really long arms and I could pick balls, and that was all you really needed at my level.
Especially at your height, you were able to get down and pick, and also being like 6'9.5" or however tall you are, you could stretch. You could stretch halfway to second base. I could just hand you the ball.
Yeah, Haggerty at first, dude. Like you're saying, Haggerty's athletic and he's able to move around over there. It's not an easy position to play. We saw Caballero get moved to third and Haggerty play first. And Cabs was kind of shaky at third. He pulled Haggerty off the bag, and Haggerty went and got the ball and made the tag. Like he's able to come off the bag, make the tag. He's able to pick balls. He has good range. He's kind of long. Like I think he's really good at first base. That's kind of one thing Garrett brought up early in the season. Like, what's our depth at first base look like?
Who the hell is Evan White?
And I said
what
maybe
is
we
an
could-
Evan White?
No, I think he died.
I was saying maybe we could see Evan White come up, but obviously he's dead.
He cannot.
And
he died.
He's
So-
like 22 and has had like 3 leg surgeries. He's not coming.
It's all
back.
in his hips, and like
Yeah,
he tries
he's
to
not
come
coming.
back, and then the lingering hip issue.
Yeah, he's not coming back. So
I mean, realistically though, we're never gonna see Evan White in a Mariners uniform ever again. It's not gonna happen.
point being made that Haggerty is a valuable first baseman if we need him there, which is nice to know.
I had the game on the radio when Hags was playing first base, and it sounded like he was pretty rangy. Like he was really going out of his position.
Pretty
to make
mobile
plays.
there.
Yeah,
bet,
mobile. There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the
Well,
kind of
Ty
guy
France,
he is.
does he scream like I'm light on my feet?
He can make good plays up against the wall and up against the net. Ty France is good at that, but he's not.
Yeah, but
like,
I don't.
rangy.
I don't
Like-
think when there's like a ground, like if there's a shift and like it's just for whatever reason everyone's shifted to the left.
Oh yeah,
I don't think France is able to cover more than like.
he doesn't
10
have the
feet,
range,
you know,
no.
But he
can
does
make
have
those-
good, like you were saying, like good range on like pop ups and stuff in the foul territory.
and good IQ.
Yeah, he can cover a lot of ground on that. But yeah, anything like hard hit, like not in his general vicinity, he can't really get to. Hard hit balls to him though, he can scoop up all the time. He has really nice hands over at first base.
Yeah, he was a third baseman, so he's used to that hot corner stuff.
That's true. Also, it's weird to think because Ty France has pretty much been our go-to first baseman, and that was not his traditional position. He was a third baseman and actually also spent time at second, which is weird. Could you imagine Ty France at second base? I mean, shit, better than Colton.
That's
but
what I was gonna say. Is like that actually be kind of refreshing.
I want to see it just because.
Ty France is a great first baseman.
Oh, he really is.
Really good.
Evan White was really good for that time he was with the Mariners, though. He had super good defense.
Yeah,
he
he's
did.
he's definitely known as like a defensive first baseman. He can't.
Yeah, he
hit
didn't
for
really
shit.
hit.
Yeah.
He had a sweet swing. He couldn't hit breaking balls very well. Like he could get on some fastballs, but yeah, I remember him striking out on curveballs all the time. Like they knew how to pitch him, and once they knew how to pitch him, he couldn't do anything to
like the Zunino
make a
special.
move back. Yeah, but I will say, like we do have some bright spots, right? Caballero has been doing really well for no expectations, right? We didn't even know who he was before spring training,
Seriously, dude came up out of nowhere.
It's like he's just a guy
right?
to fill.
It's like, who is this guy? Okay, I guess he's playing. Cool. Dylan Moore's hurt. There he is. And yeah, he's been hot, which is really fun to see. Now we're getting to know him.
He already broke the home run seal, so now he's just slamming it, bro.
I mean,
He's
I don't
going
think
to break the home run record. It starts with 1.
does. And he got a second one, so, only like 68 more to go.
You know how Aaron Judge started his record-breaking year? With 1 home run.
That's true.
It's true. Got to start somewhere.
Yeah.
Journey of 1,000 miles, whatnot.
You just gotta hit a home run like every 2 games, every 3
He's
games.
gonna do it.
So Cabs is looking good. JP is the best Mariner. Yeah,
Agreed.
no.
Oh my god!
JP best Mariner.
JP
And
best Mariner.
and game in and game out, he just makes me eat my words even more. When I was saying I don't think JP is good in the leadoff spot. Holy shit! Was I one of the most wrong things I've ever been in my entire life? Like he is absolutely killing it in the leadoff spot. He's been amazing.
Yeah, I'll take the L on that too. I was pretty vehemently against it, and the fact that he was doing really well in like his 9th role.
Yeah.
But I think now with him in leadoff, he's even more productive. For
Oh,
the
yeah.
team. And I'll take the L. But
That was-
that's you're right. You were right. When we
Yeah,
talked about
100%.
it like a month
And I was
ago.
very surprised when we were having that conversation, and you were like, "Well, who are we gonna put in the one spot?" And I was like, "JP Crawford." And you guys were like, "No," and laughed. And I
Well,
was like,
we
"Wait,
went off
what?"
of the stats from
That's
last
to
year.
me, it's super obvious that that's the move. But
Yeah, no, you were 100% right, and we were 200%.
I'm glad that
wrong.
he's been
That's
doing well
okay.
in that
I was
spot.
right about Brash.
He's been hitting a couple homers too. Like
Yeah,
big
he had a
2-run
two-run
homer.
last
Yeah. When we were like, if JP hits 10 home runs, that's an amazing year. Dude, he's gonna hit 49.
Yo, I saw something crazy. Last year, there was only one player in baseball that hit a home run off the NL Cy Young Award winner and the AL Cy Young Award winner, and that person was JP Crawford.
Hall of Fame ballot.
JP best Mariner.
Best
Yeah,
man.
we love you, JP.
All right.
And then you put Caballero hitting 9th, and it works out like just as good as it did when JP was hitting 9th.
Perfect. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so nice.
I really
from
like the
9th into
upswing.
first like that, dude. Come on.
Yeah, he fills that role very well.
Aside from JP playing how he is, like he's also like a really good leadership presence, I think.
Yes.
And I think it's something that we kind of miss because like Seager was just like that Mariners guy. He rallied the clubhouse. He was funny and fun to be around, and he celebrated success. And then he got done really dirty, and we're like, oh my God, it's not going to be Haniger. Who's it going to be? And I think JP is kind of risen to that role because he's the veteran. He's been a Mariner for a while, and he's just like a good time to be around. And I think that kind of helps the cohesion of the club.
Also, Kyle Seager, like, purposely, like, meaningfully, when he retired, he passed the captain torch to JP. He felt like JP was going to be that leader and be that guy. And sure enough, damn it, he has been.
And that was even pre-extension JP. He was kind of like, here, dude, it's your team now. Yeah. Yeah, it's a big part of our team is JP's presence and leadership. He kind of does it quietly, but like I think he really is the glue of this team a lot of times.
Yeah, and especially with us having a younger core or like new guys newer to the team that haven't been with the Mariners for a long time. I mean, we've mentioned before that Marco and JP are the longest tenured Mariners. So for JP to still be young in his own right, but still be able to have this veteran leadership, especially with all these new guys coming in. I mean, I don't even think it's too early to say this. JP Crawford is going to be in the Mariners Hall of Fame
100%,
right?
yeah.
I mean, totally.
I could see it.
Yeah.
With Kyle Seager, baby.
Kyle Seager will
That
definitely
too.
be in.
Yeah.
And then bright spots all around. There's so much stuff to be excited about. Another great one, Julio, who has been down in the dumps for the majority of the season, is now starting to come back around. It's nice. Teoscar's heating up. Julio's heating up. I think he's on like a 5-game hitting streak. He's peppered in a home run here or there, hitting the ball harder. I'm happy right now. There are so many positives going on with this team.
Yeah, Julio's finally hitting the ball around the field in a good way. Like he's not swinging and missing as much. He's more patient at the plate, or like at least when he's swinging at that first pitch, he's making sure it's there. He's hitting it. So yeah, in his last 30 games, this is kind of the bad run, right? Like with everything included, the last 30 games, he's hitting .214 with a .376 slug and 39 strikeouts. And then in the last 15 games, if you cut that in half, he's .305 with a .508 slug.
Let's go.
That's
And
what
then-
you want to see.
And then in the last 7 games, 11 for 28, a home run, 6 strikeouts, no walks, so he's aggressive. But he's hitting .393 with a .643 slug. And that's a .414 on base percentage as well. So he's over 1 dot, like 1 dot OPS too. So in the last 7 days, he's really picked it up and has been hitting really well. And this is what we want to see from Julio. And I think once he does heat up like this, there's no real slow down. Like, I think that guy's going to go once he goes and
it's
be
like
consistent.
Once it's like an elevator. Like once he reaches the top, he just stays there.
Yeah,
which is great to
exactly.
see. Yeah, because like last year he had his struggles in the early season, and then once he got into like really good territory, he just stayed there for the whole season.
I could see that happening right now, where he's on his way up and he's feeling confident and good. He's seeing the ball well, putting a good swing on it, and he is being aggressive, and he should be. When he's hitting his best, he should be as aggressive as he can be, because that dude can do some damage.
Yeah, he's there to swing. He's not going to be a super high walk guy, which is fine because, I
We
mean,
got JP for that.
yeah. And, it's kind of nice. Maybe, you know what? It's great if a batter has like a little bit of a better eye, but that's not what you're expecting from Julio. You're expecting him to swing hard, and put good swings on the ball. And early on in the season, he was swinging, and he was swinging hard. He just wasn't connecting with shit. And so now it's nice. His eyes are getting a little bit better, adjusting to the season as it's coming around. And
A lot less swing and miss, way more foul balls with 2 strikes. Like he's on the pitch a little bit better. He's in the zone, you know what I mean? He's finally starting to climb into his big shoes.
And for example, like this game that's currently going on right now against Pittsburgh, the Mariners have 5 runs, and look who has the RBIs. Ty France, Suarez, Hernandez, Julio, and Suarez again. So, like, those are the guys in your lineup you really want to be putting runs in.
And JP scored a bunch of runs. I know he was 2 for 2 with 2 runs after his first at-bats as well. So
Yeah, and these are the kind of games we want to see. And for our fans listening, I know, especially as more of a casual fan, it can be kind of hard during these early stretches where it seems like all hope is lost and stuff. But this is the stuff that we should be excited about and that we've been waiting for, and it's finally happening. Like, this is the stuff coming together, and it's still not 100% yet. Not everyone is firing on all cylinders all the time, but it looks like we are heading in that direction. Especially if we can take this Pittsburgh series. Like, this is what we're excited about as Mariners fans. This has been a lot of fun.
This next week will be really exciting, man. Playing the Yankees and the Rangers, the Padres, who have been struggling, even though they have all their star players, and the Angels. Like, it's going to be a really fun next week and a half if the Mariners can stay competitive and hit the ball like they have been. Like, it's been warming up. We're going to be in hot places. You know, like, we're not going to worry about weather holding us back. Our pitching has been super good. All we need to do is put the ball in the air and start banging, start scoring runs.
Just a fun little in-game stat. We have 11 hits right now. Everybody's got a hit except for who?
Kolton Wong.
Kolton Wong.
DFA.
Yeah, Crawford, France, and
DFA.
Julio both have 2. And then everybody else has 1. And then Kolton Wong with 2 Ks is 0 for 3.
Big
Ouch.
donut.
DFA.
Yeah.
I think it's going to happen.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's coming.
2 weeks.
I mean,
2 weeks?
I'm giving it 2 weeks.
I don't know. Like you guys have made me 180 on my thoughts from the beginning of this episode, where I was saying, maybe it's too early to cut Kolton, and not that I personally think it's too early, but for like Dipoto, I think it would be too early. But yeah, with him hitting in the 100s and him just not getting it done, and I mean, yeah, we're still gonna kind of platoon at second base, but yeah, maybe it's time Kolton gets the old chopping block.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of things lining up where, like, a lot of teams in the American League are fighting for the playoffs now. Like, it's getting late early in a way where, like, there's a lot of competitive teams. You know who's going to be there, and there's a lot of teams there. So we have to make sure that we get on track early. We can't be waiting around for this Kolton Wong to happen if we're expecting our team to be there at the end of the season. Like, it's there's no room for waiting around, and that's kind of where I feel this sense of urgency here is starting to pick up. And even on the front office, they have to make decisions that are only bolstering our team. We can't have maybes. That's what I was saying last year. We're moving into a realm where, like, we need to get solid players and a solid core together, that there's no maybes here. Like, Kolton Wong is one of our maybes.
He's
We
just
know
a
what
black hole.
Haggerty can
He
do.
comes up to the plate, people on him, just like, okay, well, that's an out. Like, I don't.
That's what it feels like every time he
No,
comes
yeah,
up to
it's
the
terrible.
plate.
It's like
you're just like, oh, great.
Anybody except for Wong comes up, I'm like, there's a chance they could
Mm-hmm.
hit somebody in, hit a home run, draw a walk. It's like Kolton Wong comes up, I'm like, okay, that's just literally an automatic out. Like,
Yeah.
and that's just when I have that feeling for a player, it's just like, why is he still here? Like, I don't know what his contract is like, but can we not just send him to AAA? Just get some.
No,
I don't think that's... Yeah, he's been a major leaguer for a while. He's a
Okay,
tenured major leaguer. It's the kind of situation... I think we have him on a 1-year deal anyway, It's kind of that thing where we just cut ties and let him go to the waivers, and someone will pick him up. And he's not going to get outrighted to Tacoma. Someone will pick up Kolton Wong on the waiver wire, but I don't think he has that, like, trade value either. No one's going to want him as an extra in a trade at this point. And, like, it's a weird thing where, like, we just have to move on, It happens. We're expecting more. We expected more out of Kolton, and he hasn't done it, and he's still not doing it with no signs of improvement. So I think it's like I said, it's getting late early for Kolton and a team like ours that's pushing to be in the playoffs. We can't wait around.
Can you explain to me why Wong is an investment? We've made this investment into him for, like, to hopefully, like,
A 1-year deal. It's
like-
not a huge investment. It's a rental,
it's
basically.
162 games. It's like that's a pretty big deal.
Yeah, but we know we had more. We knew we were gonna be supplementing second base and platooning it anyway, even with Wong.
Okay, well, that aside, like, he's still an investment. No matter, everybody is an investment, no matter how small, how long.
you're investing in him for at least a season.
At least
I see
a
what
season.
you're saying.
Yeah, like, why not just send him down to AAA? Like, I know it's the whole, like, he's tenured, he's been in the league for so long.
It's probably
Who
in
No,
gives
but
his
it's in his
contract.
contract. When you've been
Oh.
in that long, you
You're
can't
tenured.
just send, like, you're tenured. So
even
they-
if you're that down bad.
yeah, they can't just, like,
That's
send you down.
crazy.
That's
yeah,
why we
it's like, and it's
DFA'd
also part of the gamble you take when hiring or like signing someone that has been in the league so long. Like once they hit this like veteran status, you can't just send them down
They don't
like that.
have
It's like in their
options,
contract. Yeah.
You know, it's not like the minor leaguers and the young up and coming guys who have options in their contract to move up and down. Like they don't have option numbers left. It's kind of
That's
like
crazy to me.
they're on the major league club. It's why we had to DFA La Stella, not
Right.
just to send them down. Like they're tenured major leaguers.
It just seems like counterintuitive. Like if someone is like very clearly struggling for whatever reason, like wouldn't you want to send them down for like a month stretch just to get their confidence back, get like some like competitive at bats to say the least?
It's probably a thing where like they could have that conversation and make that decision together, but it's usually not the.
That's
the
crazy
path.
to me.
And
bro.
the thing is, like, Kolton Wong is like 32 years old. There is not any person in the league right now that is 32 years old or older that has been in a major leaguer for multiple years that would accept being sent down. And it's their ability to turn it down. Like, they have that power because Major League Baseball actually, like, their player unions is really, really strong and stuff like that. So, like, they also have stuff like a 10-5 deal where if you've been in the league for 10 years and you've been on the same team for 5, you can turn down any trade. Like you can, if the team wants to ship you off, like let's say the team wants to ship you off to Oakland and you have that 10-5 rule, you can just say no. Which is, it's kind of, I mean, that's good for the players. So you don't have people getting screwed like they do in kind of the other professional sports leagues. Like you look at football and like the way they do some players that have been in the league forever and they just have no say in it. And so it's like good and bad.
That's why a lot of those older players that go into free agency like go on the market and get a big deal because the team can't like trade them at the end of their career because they can just deny the trade. They can, you know, they have to go out on the market and get signed because they can't just be traded because they're tenured. You know, it's weird. There's weird rules like that.
It seems like it's hurting Kolton Wong. Like they're just like, we're gonna keep you around until you're literally unable to perform, so we're gonna get rid of you.
I'm just over the whole Kolton Wong thing, and I think we need to move on. Like we've had all these conversations. He's bad. We know he's bad. Like, do we have to keep beating it into the beating a dead horse? Because I'm saying this now because let's just get rid of Kolton Wong before we keep talking about it. It's getting annoying to me to even see him on the roster and in the lineup. It's like put Cabs in there, put Haggerty in there. I don't want to see Wong in there anymore.
I am curious why, so for a game like today, they're giving Suarez's legs a little bit of a rest at third base, especially as kind of like the minor injury thing we discussed earlier in this episode. But yeah, I don't see why not just give Haggerty the start at second. And if they're still going with this sunken cost fallacy, that is another reason why they might not be ready to axe Kolton Wong. If they're still giving him starts when you have a healthy Sam Haggerty sitting on the bench, that doesn't make a lot of sense to me. So
just like next at bat, he's gonna make a difference.
it's literally the sunken cost fallacy that like gamblers deal with, where it's like, oh, you know, I've been at this table for so long, I've lost so much money. The next one is due. The next one is gonna change my luck.
The next hand is gonna pay off all this shit I fucked up.
Yeah, and it's a very real I don't know, condition. It's like a very real thing that happens, the sunken cost fallacy. And part of me believes maybe the Mariners front office is currently with that with Wong, because why not? Why is he in the starting lineup today? Honestly, it doesn't make sense.
That's what I'm saying. I give him 2 weeks. 2 weeks, and once Dylan Moore gets called back up, I think Kolton Wong goes.
I say all-star break. I think they're going to wait for Demo to get back healthy.
In my opinion.
I also agree. But I think they're just going to wait and see. And they're like, oh, wow, Dylan Moore and Haggerty and Caballero are all playing very exceptionally well. And Kolton Wong is still just middling at 162.
I don't want to see the three-way fucking carousel of second basemen doing well together. I want to see Caballero keep excelling, and I want to see Dylan Moore come back and prove that he is somebody. He's not left-handed, which is the problem. Haggerty is a switch hitter, which is nice. Kolton Wong is left-handed, and I think that's the only thing keeping him on our team. at this point. I mean, I did want to give him this run. I thought he would be better this year. I will say, I'm not saying he would suck from the beginning of the year. I thought he'd fill in nicely for Adam Frazier, but he hasn't. And, like, I'm just over it, man. I'm over it. Adam Frazier played way better than Kolton Wong's playing right now. And I'm tired of seeing us put a 0 on the field.
Every damn day.
He's 0 for 4 right now, 2Ks.
Caballero.
Dude, for real.
But also, look at it from this way. Think about even just last week's episode and the episode before that, how much negative stuff we had to talk about, how this wasn't working and this wasn't working, and dropping, getting blown out by the Red Sox and stuff like that. It was so much negatives. And this episode, it's literally, we went from having a whole blanket of negatives to now, like, we have one negative, and it's Kolton Wong. Mm-hmm. So that, I mean, honestly, I'm so excited, and yeah.
Sweeping those 4 games really turned around the mindset as well. The Mariners are putting some pieces together, which make us think like we're moving in the right direction, and that's what's really keeping me together here. Is like the Mariners pitching has been good and continues to be good. Kirby threw a stinker. Big deal. It's going to happen.
It's going to happen throughout the season.
He's also going to throw a complete game shutout at some point, so I can't wait for that. There's a lot to look forward to. The pieces are there. We see the momentum, and it needs to keep going. I'm tired of this 1 step forward, 2 steps backwards, like jumping and hopping back and forth, and like we need to have some consistency. And I think that's coming together. The team chemistry looks better. I think the boys look better together on the field now. Like, things are falling into place for us to start getting hot and going on a run and trusting each other and putting together a good lineup every day that's deep.
Yeah, and I mean, in this upcoming series, like by next week's episode, it's going to be hell or high water for us, because we're riding kind of a high right now with how the Mariners have been performing. And with these upcoming series coming up, I mean, they perform well. And let's be realistic. Let's say 500 on the road trip with 2 divisional opponents. We do that. That's good. That's good. Especially, maybe win, even if we lose the Rangers series, but keep it competitive, and then beat the Padres, beat the Angels series. Like, we have a lot to look forward and be excited about.
I see that, but I want to get greedy, man. This is where I'm talking about. We need to turn it on. It's getting to be June. Like, if we just stay 500 through the All-Star break, that's cool, but like, let's get 5 games over 500, Let's get a couple games over 500 through the whole road trip. If we come out of the Rangers, Padres, Angels, and we're like 4 games over 500, I mean, like, something needs to start rolling in the right direction here. Like, we need to really pick up steam, and I think now is the time to do it. So I'm saying, yeah, it'd be great and all to go 500 on the road trip, but dude, let's take every series. Let's take 2 out of 3 in every series at least.
Oh, I agree.
That's where we're going.
And Sogcast fans, seriously, tune in to all of these games for the next week. They're all exciting. It's going to be meaningful baseball in June.
It's go time.
These games really matter, and the Mariners are striking hot right now, and hopefully we keep that going. And hopefully when we talk to you guys next week, we're just as excited and happy as we are now.
Yeah, and I just want to give a shout out to Bryce Miller also. Like, we keep talking about this young kid. He's made 5 starts now, and I will say 2 of them are against the A's, so it's kind of a soft landing for him, but that's the way to do it when it's a young guy with this kind of stuff. He's thrown a ton of fastballs. Bryce Miller has been awesome. So Sarah Langs at Slangs on Sports, she tweeted about Bryce Miller having 5 consecutive outings of 6 innings plus and 5 or fewer base runners. And he's 1 outing shy of tying the longest streak since 1901, held by Jacob deGrom, 2022, Shane McClanahan, 2022, Clayton Kershaw, 2016, and Zach Greinke in 2015. And that
elite company.
Elite. Yeah, absolutely amazing. So he's throwing like 70% fastballs right now. And then when he has to go to his secondary stuff, it's still awesome. So, I mean, the dude is just rolling. And I don't know what to say. This dude's going to be Rookie of the Year conversation.
Potential Cy Young conversation, honestly.
Yeah, he came in a little later, so he missed starts where like maybe a body of work would be an issue. But if he continues doing what he's doing, there's no question he's in that conversation. He's one of the best fastball pitchers in the league right now.
Also, realistically speaking, I just thought of this. With him coming up from Double-A, he's never had to go through the grind of a major league season before. There is a chance also the Mariners might shut him down early, as teams do, just to protect young guys' arms. So that is something we might see, or maybe even a stretch around the All-Star break where he doesn't pitch as much, just for the sake of resting his young and very talented arm.
Yeah, I agree with that. He hasn't had the full body of work before. He's never thrown as many innings as he will this year. So I think they have been doing that a little bit. Like they've been letting him go 6, but not into the 7th. Mm-hmm. They're watching his pitch count, letting him get up to 100, but that's it. Like you're not going out there again. Like they are watching it, and I think they will do what you're saying, where they'll use an extra travel day or a day off to kind of skip him in the rotation, because we don't want those miles to rack up on his arm and not have him be pitching in September, So I hope that we do keep using him throughout the year and he remains effective, that the league doesn't catch up to him and learn what he's doing and start hitting it. But his fastball is elite. Like he is elite stuff. So I think he's going to continue to be effective, and we should limit his innings a little bit because our bullpen is so good. Like make sure that we do give him the rest he needs so we can have a little bit more longevity into the late part of the season where we're really going to need him to pitch his best. So anyway, shout out Bryce Miller. He's amazing.
Out.
We're gonna see him pitch again against the Yankees. So it'll be fun to see what he can do against a team like that.
That's gonna be the first, real major challenge of his very young career, especially Yankees at home in T-Mobile. He has a real chance to show out for not only the fans but the national media. This is gonna be a huge start for him.
His only loss was against the Braves, and they're a good hitting team, and he only gave up a couple runs. So, I don't know. I think he gave up 3 that game, but that was his one stinker, I guess, which is not even bad. So, I'm excited to see what he can do against Judge, the boys over there in New York. See if he can strike out Judge a couple times. That'd be sick.
And this Yankees series could be one of the best moments in his young career, his best moments on the field for the Mariners. And as a ending See Us Guys, what is some of your guys' best moments that you've had on the diamond?
Ooh. I'll go first.
Lead us off.
Yeah, I had a kind of a rough history with high school ball, but I remember specifically I joined our high school Legion team with Patrick and a few other people that we've been around. And I remember the first game I started, I was batting 9th. We were on a turf field, and I didn't have turf cleats, so I'm in basketball shoes. My pants didn't fit right, so they're they're not rolled up all the way to the knee. They're mid-calf. So I just look like the bum.
Owen's looking like a snack.
I looked awful. And I'm batting 9th, and it's my first at-bat. And our first base coach was hey, he's thrown 7 or 8 first pitch fastballs. I was like, okay, I guess I'm just gonna swing as hard as I fucking can at this first pitch. And I hit it, and we were at Newport, and I don't know how far the fences are there, maybe 280.
Oh, they're probably 310.
They're probably 300,
310.
It's a good distance. It's a good size field.
Just straightaway right, I'm assuming.
Yeah, 100%. I hit it really solid contact and everything, and it hit the fence because their fences are 30 feet fucking high.
Yeah, they're tall because there's a road right behind it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so just first pitch, lights out, hit the fence, got a double. And it was just that felt really fucking good.
I bet you didn't even feel it.
Yeah, one of the ones where the ball just jumps off the bat.
Yeah, where you just oh, wow, that's double base,
A rocket.
Mm-hmm. Felt really good.
Yeah, without the tall wall, man, that thing's out of here.
For sure. Probably would have caused a traffic accident. So.
I would say for me, my best moment, I've had a few good ones, but it's got to be the summer Legion ball that we played. And it was the bottom of the 7th. We only play 7. And we were down by 2 with 2 outs. And we had the bases loaded. And I roped one into the right center gap and cleared the bases for a walk-off bases clearing triple. And we won in that Legion game. And that was a good moment for me. I love that one.
That's a good one. I loved when my teammates would do that because I never had the walk-off hit, man, but that feels so good for the whole team. I can't imagine for you stroking one in the gap, just running the bases like, oh.
Also, the exciting part, even more to that, the runner on first was Mr. Owen Day. And he was running faster than he's ever ran in his entire life. Scored the winning run for the
Running
walk-off.
like a baby
I'm a really
giraffe.
good hitter, but I am not a good base runner. I'm slow. I get picked off a lot. Like,
Looking like a baby giraffe coming
yeah,
out of
bro,
third
like a
base.
newborn horse. It's like,
But he was hauling ass on that. And
I
we
was
won.
so fucking tired after that.
That's how you win. Yeah, that's what's up. All right, I guess I'll go. Yeah. So I was a center fielder. I wasn't a big hitter, but, I was on base. I stole bases a lot. But I was in center field. I was a great defensive center fielder with a good jump on the ball. We're playing against Issaquah High School, and I went to Liberty High School. So it was a real intense rivalry over there. And they're in our field. They're at our field at Liberty. There's a ton of space in the gaps. And I'm playing center field. This dude boosts one to right center, like so far, but so high too. And like I get a great jump on this ball, and I'm running. I don't think I'm gonna catch it, but like by the time I'm halfway there, I'm like, I got a shot. I got a shot at this ball. And I even like start calling it. I'm like sprinting, and I'm like, ball, like trying to get it. And I get out there. I jump. I don't dive, but I like full on sprint jump,
Like full extension.
Backhand, full on extension, catch the ball, and the runners were already around the bases. There were runners on base too. And I throw the ball in. It should have been a triple play, but the umpires weren't watching the like tagging up situation. The runners were all confused. The umpires were all confused. No one expected me to catch this ball in the gap, like way out by the track in right center. But I got over there, full extension, caught the ball, and just threw it in. I saw my shortstop out there for the cutoff. I just threw it to him, and it was a triple play, but they only called it a double play. We got out of the inning. They didn't score, but it was amazing. That was the best feeling I've ever had on the field, was just getting to that ball and, turning a triple play from the outfield.
Like such a rush.
Oh, my God. That was something else.
I don't play baseball.
Do we want to do Nathan too?
Yeah, I mean, I asked
Nathan,
him if
you
he
got a
has
moment?
one.
Nathan. Producer Nathan, get on the mic.
Yeah, bro.
You
I'm
can
sure
do it.
you got.
Tell us your best moment.
You're the only person here who's played in fucking college. That's cool.
We got producer Nathan here filling us in, telling us about his best baseball moment. I know you got some good ones.
My moments, it's not even college ball. It was high school ball. Senior year, very last game of the season. We were playing against Mount Rainier at Mount Rainier. So it's last game of the season. It's their senior day. That year, they hadn't lost a single game all season. They even beat us at our home field. But it was for us to get into the playoffs, and I pitched the whole game, complete game. I don't think it was a shutout or anything like that, but very last pitch of the game, I struck the dude out for us to win on a nasty curveball. And just the way that we erupted, it was like we won the championship in high school just because we ruined their perfect season.
Ruined their senior night?
Ruined their senior night. And it was their first loss on their brand new field because they had just gotten their new field put in that year. And so I'll never forget that. It was a great middle finger to Mount Rainier High School.
Bro,
Good. I hate Mount Rainier.
I got
too,
goosebumps.
I always
Yeah,
hated
that
Mount
is
Rainier.
awesome, man. What a moment.
That's some shit. Attaboy, Nathan. That's what's up.
Thank you, guys.
Also, in the comments, tell us your best baseball moment.
Yeah, let us know. It's always fun. I love reading those moments, man. They give me goosebumps, like I just said. I love baseball. It's sentimental. It's romantic. Those moments are huge for they're just little league moments or like baseball, high school baseball moments, but like they mean so much, and I always remember them.
All right, I got one.
Oh, yeah? What you got?
Hell yeah.
I'm going all the way back to T-ball. with
Let's
this one.
go.
It was just a practice. It wasn't even during.
I practiced so hard that day.
No, dude. This isn't a good one. I was playing like either like third base or shortstop, something like that. And we were just practicing, and the coach let his older son like hit the ball a few times, and he roped one right at me and knocked the wind out of me. He hit me right in the gut, and I was crying so hard. Dude. Yeah. I was like, and yeah, I didn't play baseball after that. Fuck
What
that.
a moment.
That's my most memorable baseball moment.
Stupid older kids getting on the practice field.
All right. Well, this one has been a lot of fun. And yeah, if any of you guys have some great, interesting stories, feel free to send us a message or comment on our YouTube video. And if it's fun enough, we might even bring it up on the pod. Thank you guys so much for listening. And again, seriously, tune in all next week to all these Mariners games. It's going to be a lot of fun.
Some big ones.
It's
To
all-
destroy the Yankees.
Yeah, it's going to be huge. And again, thank you so much for listening. You can always find us on Spotify and YouTube. Check out our Instagram, our Twitter. We're out everywhere. Reach out to us. Tell us what you like. And if there's anything you want us to talk about in a future episode, feel free to let us know and we'll work it in. Thank you again, guys, so much for listening. We love you all. And go Mariners!